You are now tuned in to the Price Went Up podcast with your host, Dominique Price. Tuning in to the newest trend. Hit the loop and spin. Tell your friends, chicks and hooligans, him, her, you, and them that it's a dub. Tell them it's a dub, baby. I got the plug. Yeah, you know I got it.
Welcome to the Price Went Up podcast. I am your host, Dom Price, aka The Price is Right. So today is an intro for what's about to come. Today you're gonna learn a little bit about me, what I do, what led me here, and why I started the podcast, The Price Went Up. And what does that mean? The Price Went Up. What does that mean? So for those who don't know me, my name is Dominique Price. I was born and raised in Worcester, Massachusetts. I have a single mom, 3 big kids. She took care of us, did everything that she needs to do, and at the same time spoiled her. So it's just like a blessing to see this woman do the things she did. To this day, I've been a mama's boy since. It's just amazing to see what my mom was capable of doing. And the more I grow up, the more I realize how amazing this woman was. So yeah, single mother. I always grew up an athlete. I played football and basketball all throughout junior high, high school. I was your star player, everyone would say, in both football and basketball. And then I went to a Division II school where I played football and basketball. I was the first to do that. And then until I got bored of it, the school was small, so I was like, let me transfer to a bigger school. And I moved up to a Division I, and then I played football. But I got there, I was partying, I was always hurt, so I didn't take it serious. It wasn't for me. So I finished, and I knew I couldn't stay in Worcester. There was nothing there for me personally, and I had an opportunity to come to L.A. I had a cousin who was already living here, and she was like, hey, I'm your cousin. We met when you were born. You should come visit, blah, blah, blah. I came to visit. I fell in love with it, and then I told her, I was like, I want to move here. She's like, of course you can. You can stay with me. And that was probably the biggest blessing, so I thank you, Celeste, for that. But we'll stay tuned for that, and I'll explain more about that later. So I got to L.A. I was working at Hollister. That was my first job out here. And then no one in L.A. was working. I was like, what? It's a Tuesday. Why is everyone at the pool? And I did Hollister for about maybe 6 or 7 months until the point where it got to the summertime and then no one was really working. I was like, I have to quit my job. And then I got certified to be a trainer. So then I worked at Gold's Gym. I did that for like a year until I went independently. So I got sucked into the LA lifestyle where I was the trainer, model, all that such and such. So I did that for about a year, and then obviously I got hooked up with an agent, a manager, and things started to take off from there. Did a couple print jobs, did a couple commercials, and then I ended up landing on a TV show. So that's where most people would know me. I was on Temptation Island. I was a single hitting on a girl in a relationship. Wow, that was an experience, I'll tell you that. I'm not going to lie. There was points where I was over it. I wanted no part of it. I was trying to get off the show, but they wouldn't let me. I was too much of an asset at this point. Me and the girl were involved. So, yeah. So I stayed on. I actually did like this girl a lot. So it was a good experience for me personally because I've never been a dater type guy. I've always been chilling. I guess I would like to call it has been chilling. So I actually got close to a girl or a woman that I've never done before. So it actually woke me up. And yeah, I learned a lot. More importantly, to listen to actual women and understand them and see more than just sex and beauty. So I definitely happy I've been on the show for different things. And obviously it wasn't as easy as people think it is. It was tough. So, yes, I did that show. It was a great experience. It was before the pandemic, but I was on lockdown there, but I'd done it before the pandemic. So it was a great experience. I wouldn't take it back. I probably would never do another show. So yes, that's how things go. And now I'm here. So I'm back in LA. I went home for a year during COVID. Just had to mentally get my mind right. LA was going through some things. There was no gym. There was no access to do nothing here, and they took COVID really strictly. And I just needed to be around my family, and the gym is where I find peace, and that's my therapy. So I went home and got that. And then I met this girl. We were dating, but guess what? She lived in LA. So it brought me back here. And that's why I'm here now. We dated for a few. I thought it was serious, but I guess things happened and we broke up. So she's doing her own thing. I'm happy for her. And now I'm here in LA and I'm happy for me. So yeah. But because of that, I was going to therapy. It was a tough breakup. I really was very interested in this girl, and things didn't work out the way I wanted to, and I didn't know what to do at this point. So I was like, I need to talk to somebody. And normally I'm very open. I could talk to people about everything, but the situation, I feel like I needed a professional. So I went to the therapist. Me and her had a great conversation. She taught me a lot. But then after a couple weeks, because day one, I already told her all everything I needed to tell her. So by week 1, week 2, week 3, already got it all out, and I was slowly starting to feel better. And then by like week 4, I got to the point where it was just like, hey, how are you doing? How are you doing? So I wasn't really getting nothing out of it. And then she asked me, like, what do you need me for? And I was just like, to be honest with you, I don't need you. And then at that point, it was like, I was like, okay, cool. Like, I needed a professional at that point. I'm over that point now. And I understand that I probably just needed someone to talk to. And I think we all needed someone to talk to. So that's why this idea of coming up with a podcast gives me the aspect to actually go sit down and talk to someone and listen. And then we could share ideas and just go back and forth. And that's the part where I need it. So that's what made me want to start this podcast. So I'm actually very excited to get people here weekly and just talk. Just have a conversation, normal conversation. Talk about your life, talk about what you love, and let me listen and let me learn from you, and you can learn from me, whatever it is. I think with all this, with the pandemic, people forgot how to communicate with people. So, and me, myself, I forgot how to communicate with people. So I need to do this for myself as well. And it's my new form of therapy that I'm going to take. So that's why the Price What Up podcast was started. So I'm super excited. And then the price is right. The price went up. It's all relative. It all goes with my name. And I just think that like every day, your price goes up. The inflation, shit goes up. So it's just like everyone's price goes up. So at what point do you feel like damn, like I'm worth way more than the world sees me? So yeah, I want to know at what point did your price go up? And that's very important because some people their price is still going up. My price is still going up. So it's just like there's one point where it's just like, okay, you felt like I am not this person anymore. I've evolved and I'm becoming a better me. And that's the point I want you to come sit down on this couch and talk to me about. So that's the whole point of the Price Went Up podcast. I just want to learn more about you. We're going to have a regular conversation. I'm going to ask you questions. We're going to sit down, chit chat, do all that fun stuff. And then you're going to tell me when your price went up. So I'm excited to get that going. While we're at it, I'm going to tell you where my price went up. So we're going to go back all the way to after graduating college. I graduated from UMass Amherst with an economics degree. Like I said, I was always an athlete. I always see myself being a professional, whether it be football or basketball, but it didn't work out that way. I was always injured, like I said. Man, I had 2 hip surgeries. I got stuck on pain pills. I was going through it my senior year. I didn't know what else to do. And the fact that for me just to graduate and not become who I thought I was going to be, who everyone else thought I was going to be, it was like blowing my mind. And I honestly didn't know what else to do. I stayed home. I was working at Hollister at the time. My friend was working there when I was still in college, and he was like, yo, come work at Hollister. Come be the shirtless model for me. And I was like, shit, sure. I definitely need the money. And then I go there, and then the manager at the time, it was a girl, attractive girl. Me and her talked for a little bit. But then she recruited me to become a manager. She's like, all you need to do is graduate, and you could get a job easy. So I was like, all right, perfect. I graduated from UMass economics degree. I could have used that degree and got a great job, but sitting in the office was not my thing. It's never been my thing. So I took the Hollister job for like a year-ish, a little less than a year. And all I did was, I was eating peanut butter and jellies and sandwiches and just going to work, minding my business. I didn't go out. I let the hair grow. And Worcester, so you already know what that's about. So I saved all my money, worked every day, and just saved my money. And then my mom actually came to me at the end of the year. It was like, hey, like I'm thinking about getting a house. I was like, sure. I was like, how much you need? And then she told me whatever she needed. And I was like, all right. And I just emptied my whole account for what I saved for that year and then what I had from college. And then as I did that, I got a message from my cousin. She was like, she's like, if you're ever in LA, I'm your cousin. You could come visit me or come stay with me. And then typically I never check my Facebook messages. And I never replied to when people like, oh, you're my cousin. And it's just like, bro, if you ain't a Price and you're not in the square that I know, like I don't care if you're family, to be honest with you. But God obviously wanted me to see this message. And I saw it. So I replied to her back and I was like, hey, oh, for sure. Like I would love to come there and visit. And then I got to LA and I was there for like a week. She worked at Fox at the time, so I was going to Fox. I was taking the tours, and then I just got sucked into the LA lifestyle, the weather. I didn't know LA weather was that good, to be honest with you. I didn't know nothing about LA except for it was on the West Coast. And I've been to LA when I was a kid for AAU basketball, but it wasn't the same. We were in downtown at that time. Downtown was trash. There was a bunch of homeless people, even though there is. But all there was a Staples Center and like one hotel and a Denny's. That's all I remember. And it was just nothing else. So like the evolution of downtown in LA has been drastic over the years. So that was my only LA experience before then. And then I got there 10 years ago, came to visit my cousin, and then I fell in love. I was there for a week, and she's a photographer too, so we did a couple photo shoots. The photos came out amazing. I actually love them. I still love them to this day. And then we just did the LA tour and stuff and did all that fun stuff, and I just fell in love with it. And I was like, she told me like, oh my God, I love you. You could stay here. And then I was like, Ma, don't be mad at me, but I'm moving out and I'm moving to LA. And nobody believed me. None of my family believed me because obviously, like, when you come from where I'm from, like, no one ever leaves the city. So it was just like, yeah, right, you're not going anywhere. And then I was like, no, like, seriously, I'm leaving. And then she was like, when? I was like, next week. And this was October, I believe. October of like 2012. Yeah, October 2012. And I was like, I'm leaving. And then she was like, at least wait for the holidays. And I was like Christmas, Thanksgiving? She was like, yeah. I was like, all right, I'll stay to Thanksgiving. So I booked my flight the day after Thanksgiving. I was like, I got to get up out of here. And that, I would say, is the point where my price went up. I think just getting on the plane and coming to LA was definitely an experience that I needed personally. It helped me grow. LA is like a very selfish place, I would say. Yeah, LA is very selfish. And it's selfish in a good way, too, because you learn so much about yourself that you wouldn't learn staying in that hometown that you were supposed to be at. So LA is definitely a blessing. It could wake you up. And just being at the point where you're able to stay in LA for so many years is more than a blessing. So I'm just very thankful that my cousin gave me this opportunity to begin with because most people don't get this. Like, granted, I came out here with nothing, but all I had was my cousin, and that's all I needed. And most people don't get that opportunity, so I'm very thankful. And like I said, this is the point where my price went up. LA taught me so much about myself. You're gonna have your ups and your downs, but at the end of the day, if any moment your life can change, and that happened a lot. There was times where your bank account could be on zero, and you could easily just end up booking a job and just getting $20,000, or meeting this person and then getting a job and making $20,000. And that's where the point I was like, oh, okay, oh, this is nice. So it's just like I was blessed to be in this situation to able to witness it because once I moved to LA, I started traveling. I started living life more. I feel like I started to explore things. Like, I got my passport. I left the country. I went to Mexico. I drove up the coast to San Francisco. It's just like things that I wouldn't do when I was stuck in Massachusetts. And then that's when I realized, like, wow, like, there's more to life than like your hometown and just being stuck in whatever situation like you think you need to be at. Like, there's more to life, and LA brought that out of me. And at that point, my price been steady going up and up and up and up, and that's just from all that happening. I feel like if I stayed back home in Worcester, I would have been like all my other friends, wife, kids, or divorced kids, and having just a regular job, a 9 to 5, taking care of my kids and my family. And I wouldn't have been able to live the life that I'm living now. And that's where I think a lot of people make a mistake. And I'm not saying none of that is wrong. Like, I definitely want my wife and I definitely want my kids. But at the same time, you have to put yourself first and learn and do these things you always want to do and live your life, because obviously it's not promised and you never know what's going to happen. And that's what people take for granted. And I think that's what's most needed. So LA teaches you that. LA teaches you to be selfish, put yourself first. No one in LA has kids. And even if they do have kids, they're typically with their parents somewhere in whatever city that they're from. So, but that's just the mindset that people have here. Just like, all right, like, oh, I'm gonna have fun. They're selfish. It's just a selfish mentality, and I think this world needs it. To be honest with you, obviously, it's very important to be selfish. Taking care of yourself is the most important thing you should be doing. Your number one priority should be yourself, and people should have realized that during the pandemic. Like, your health is your wealth. You should come first, not your job, not money, not no one else but yourself. That's the only, you die with yourself and you're born with yourself. So take care of yourself. So that's, for me, that's when my price went up. And then obviously going on a TV show, it puts me in front of millions of people, millions of viewers. So I got a chance to get some popularity on, especially on social media, get the blue check. That always helps. So there, my price kept going up and kept going up. And then every day, just me being wiser, older, 33 now, just knowing what life's about, traveling more, exploring more things, my price is constantly going up. And that's more important because my price is different than your price. So it's just like, I want to, now that you guys are learning more about my price, I want to sit down with people and actually learn what they've been through and what makes their price different than mine. Because I know it's different, obviously. And I'm not just talking about money, but price could be just their experience. Man, just living, taking another breath each and every day. Your price goes up. So that's why I came up with this podcast. Just to sit down and talk to people, learn what gets them going up every night and what makes them happy. And just checking up on them. Obviously, we all been through some tough times these past couple of years. So I just want to sit down, talk to people, have normal conversation, see how they're doing. And then I also have a segment where we're going to learn people's weird favorite foods. I'm a picky eater, so it's going to be weird because I'm actually going to eat these too. So you're going to see me eat things that I've never ate before. And it's going to be the simplest thing sometimes. And I'm such a picky eater. All you'll see me eat is oatmeal, chicken, eggs, potatoes, broccoli, spaghetti, pizza, burgers, all the basic American foods. When I travel the world, I still eat these basic American foods. So now that my price is going up, I got to experience more things and try different things. And I think that's another important factor of your price going up is learning more about yourself and doing different things. And that's some of the things I get so comfortable. Most of us get so comfortable doing the same things, and you don't want to branch out and do different things. And that's what's keeping you from being from up here to up there to keep growing and being a better person. So I know I need work at that. So therefore, I'm going to have my guests sit down and I'm going to eat all these weird, not even weird foods. Sometimes it's so simple as a salad. I've never ate a salad before. So that's what's going to happen on this show. So stay tuned. This is just the intro to what's going to come. We have more episodes coming to you weekly. So you're going to love it. Stay tuned.
Tuning in to the newest trend. Hit the loop and spin. Tell your friends, chicks and hooligans, him, her, you, and them, that it's a dub. Yeah, I got the plug. Yeah, this my life. This is not for life. I just caught a flight, give advice, then I drop the mic. What about the price? Is this enough? It just went up. Price went up podcast. Yeah.